Welcome to the Dumpling Difference Discussion Show, episode 17. And Steve is running a little behind, but we should be here very shortly. So we're just going to get started for a little bit, and hopefully he's here within a few minutes. Anyway, I was going to be here last Tuesday, but I had a doctor appointment that ran late, and I got rained on all day, so I look like a drowned rat. So decided just to wait until today. So here we are, or here I am. Hi guys, how are you? Anyway, the first thing I want to mention is what a great time we had on the Halloween trivia show. I don't know if you guys caught that. I think Derek, you caught part of it. At least I think you told me that you saw part of it. But it was really a good time. And I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough questions. And then we ended up going for 2 hours. So obviously 60 questions is a little overkill. But it was a good time. And I've been thinking about making that like a monthly or maybe every other month kind of a thing. So I just want to kind of gauge the interest to know if people would be interested in doing that. And we would have, the $25 prize every time. And do different topics every time. Like this month, I was thinking about doing a Thanksgiving or like a food and drink trivia thing. So I don't know if I can get 4 people to commit and sign up quickly, I will do one next Tuesday on the 28th. So please let me know if you're interested, and we can do that. Let's see, what else have I had going on? I had kind of a unicorn Instacart. I hardly ever take any Instacarts, but I had one that was $36.59. It paid and took me a half an hour. And all I had to do was, I was a block away from Best Buy. I had to run in there, pick up a computer that was already at the desk, and drop it off 10 minutes away. So that was good, since I never have any Instacarts. Dumpling has been not great lately, to be honest, which I take partial responsibility for. I haven't really had the time or the health or all that to go out and promote myself the way that I should be doing. So I know it is a lot my fault, but it's just been eerily quiet for the last few months. So I know I need to get back on that, but we've had, some family stuff going on, and our neighbors, which are like family to us, I don't know. I've talked about this once before, but one of them passed, the other went to assisted living. So, we help him out, and my health hasn't been great. So you can probably tell by looking at me. Anyway, so yeah, I've just kind of been slacking on doing what I need to be doing for it. So hopefully the new year is going to bring new health and new motivation and new clients, and we can get back on track. And let's see, I had an issue with Delivered. I was on the Delivered app, and I had a catering one morning. Let me double check this, make sure, see if Steve's back there. Nope, he's not here yet. Okay. I had a catering one morning, and I missed it. My alarm didn't go off, and it's very unlike me to screw up something like that. Really, that's not me. I don't screw up shit like that. Anyway, so they sent me a message and said to contact them within 3 days to discuss it. So I sent an email, didn't hear anything back. I sent another email, didn't hear anything back, which I thought was kind of weird, but I was busy with other stuff, so that wasn't like my number one focus, and apparently it should have been, because now they've taken me off the platform, which I love Delivered. I really like delivering for them. They pay well. They're a good company. So I went into my email, and I noticed that my emails to them had bounced back to me. So they never got my emails. So I don't know if you guys have any experience with that, with Delivered, and any issues that you've had, but I need to call them and talk to them and maybe forward those emails and show them they bounced back. I don't know why they did. but I'm hoping I can get back on the platform because that's kind of a bummer. Really, I've been mainly doing DoorDash these days. I don't know if you guys saw my short of the wild boars that ran in front of my car. That was interesting. I've lived in Florida for 12 years and I see deer, but I've never seen a freaking wild boar. And I'm driving back. It's 12:45 at night, so it's dark. I'm like on the outskirts of town, so there's no traffic, not a lot of houses. And I'm watching this scary ass thing on YouTube. So I'm like all into myself, waiting for, any little jump because I was scared watching Sam and Colby and their haunted content that I've been watching lately, which is really good, by the way. You should check it out. They just did a 4-episode deal where they went and stayed at the Conjuring house for a week. Super good. Go watch that series. So good. And the other ones I watch are Mackie and Amanda. And Amanda is a medium. She's young. She's in her 20s. Pretty girls. Anyway, very good content. And real. I mean, it's not bullshit. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I'm driving back and I'm watching Sam and Colby and I'm very focused, and all of a sudden this big monster runs in front of my car, and thank God that I keep my head on a swivel out there because I am used to seeing deer, so I'm watching, but I'm still listening to the scary stuff, so it was like just intensified it 100 times. This freaking big ass boar runs in front of my car and then 3 more right behind it. And so I had to slam on my brakes. Everything went sliding off my seat. And it was just like, I don't know, watching that content and then having that happen and never seeing one in 12 years. I was like, did a demon just send me like boars in front of my car? I don't know. It was funny, but funny later. Not funny then. So, let's see. We got wild boars. Check and see where Steve is not here yet. I was going to tell you about the guy that tried to kill me last week, but I was going to kind of wait for Steve for that one. Uber Eats. Did you happen to see the news story? This was really funny. Did you know Matt has arrived? How are you? We missed you at the trivia. You were supposed to be at Halloween trivia, so I'm not sure what happened with you, but I wish you'd been there. It was so much fun. Maybe next time you can make it. I just was telling them that maybe next Tuesday I'll do one if I can get interest to do that and do maybe a Thanksgiving food and drink trivia. All right. So Uber Eats had a story out last week out of Orlando that a bear, which this isn't Colorado, so bears aren't extremely prevalent here to my knowledge. I mean, alligators, yes. Deer, yes. Anyway, a bear came up to someone's door and it was caught on their Ring cam and stole their $45 worth of Taco Bell. And apparently he sauntered off and ate the Taco Bell because then he came back and took the drinks. So I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, you guys can Google that if you want to, but that was on the news last week. Didn't notice my comment about sending an email. Yeah, I just either needed an email address or a phone number from you so I can send you the link to join into the StreamYard. Hey, I think Steve is here. He is. Hey.
Hey. Hold on, I'll share. Do you want me to share this stream?
Sure, yeah.
What should I call it?
My volume up here. Oh, that's better. My volume was down.
Dumplings on Thanksgiving.
Okay, cool. Your email's on your bio now. Great. Okay, if I do one next Tuesday, do you want to join that one? Do you think you could do that? If
Are you
so, I
asking
will
me?
send the link. No, I'm asking, did you know, Mad? We were
Oh,
talking about
oh.
trivia, and I was saying that I was thinking about doing that once a month or even once every other month because we had so much fun on Halloween with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just doing different topics every month. Like this month, I was going to do like Thanksgiving food drink thing, and I actually bought a couple sets of trivia cards that have different topics and stuff in it. So, anyway, we just had so much fun. I thought maybe I would incorporate that into my life just for a little extra fun. When they went and stayed at the Conjuring House for a week, super good. Go watch
What is
that.
that?
Oh, it's
Huh.
my phone. It just turned on and started talking my stream. That's weird.
So let me put this into mine so that people know that if they're there, if you're watching this on my stream, just I just put a link into Holly's. Come on over so that we're all in the same place, please. I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
Yes, he is.
Because then as soon as this is over, I just make it private or whatever. So it's more about like bringing people over while we're here.
Oh, well, it's fine. Whatever.
No, I've been learning about this. We ended the cross streaming. It was so, I don't know if you were noticing, it was so confusing for the Thursday people. We don't do it anymore now. It's just on mine, but it was on everybody's, and everybody was using the thumbnail I made. So it's like it was coming up 3-4 times in the feed. YouTube doesn't like that.
Well, I noticed.
I mean, this isn't the same. This is 2 people, but
right.
But when you get like 5 all restreaming with the same thumbnail, they're like, "What are you doing?"
Right. Well, it sucks because you can't put all the comment section together, and so then people are commenting, and then they're trying to comment back to somebody that's not in that one, and yeah. So that was
Right.
the only.
Or exactly, we address a comment and they're like, "Dude, I don't see that. Where is that comment?"
Right.
It's like, it's in Kim's room or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, because you
So,
had said
I mean, it
something.
depends. I guess it depends on the, like I was thinking, what I told everybody when we stopped doing it was, I first of all asked them what they thought. I said, because I showed them the numbers, like, here's the numbers of all of us added up. Here's what we were doing. The big goal was to get, double, triple the amount of people. And really,
Right.
it wasn't playing out that way. It was just dividing them. I'm like, Thursday's a
Oh,
little bit different, so, but like if I have like a Kim Cavan or a Karen Anderson on, then heck yeah, it makes sense for them to restream to their
right.
channel, because
Right.
those are just night and day
Yeah.
crowds that should know each
Right.
other. So,
all right. Well, I haven't talked to you for a while, so what's been going on?
well, wait, when I was coming in, what is this that you're deactivated from delivered? Like, for
But
real?
for real.
Like, is it something we can take care of?
Yeah, I think it is. I just need to call them because what happened was I slept through a delivery, which is not like me. I'm not an irresponsible person. I always make my things when I have it. And hey, Welty. And anyway, so they sent me a message and said, to contact them within 3 days. I sent them an email. I sent another email and I hadn't heard back from them, which I thought was kind of weird. And then all of a sudden they told me I was deactivated. So I looked in my email. Well, the emails I sent them bounced back. So they never got them. So I need to call them and I can, forward those emails to show them, hey, they really did bounce back or whatever. So, but I actually did contact you or whatever. So hopefully I can call them and get that worked out because that was really one of my favorite platforms to work.
Maybe I could just send an email out to you and Ashley and let you take it from there. I'll just kind of do a quick intro and say, hey, this is Holly. We know Holly well. I don't know. Maybe you could even document the process of how it goes getting put back on. But Ashley'd be a good one to talk to without just, because they're a small company still. It's not like it's crazy amounts of people. So Ashley was the one that we interviewed, and then we're gonna be interviewing the CEO too. But Ashley does all the day-to-day stuff, and if not her, she would know exactly where to point you. But it might be nice.
It was Adam that I think the emails were directed towards. I don't know if you know Adam.
I don't know.
So
I don't
yeah,
know. I mean, I don't think
definitely
it'd be a slap in Adam's face for me to send an email saying, "Hey, this is somebody I do a show with," and to Ashley. I mean, it wouldn't be mean to Adam because, of course, we talked, and who knows, if he didn't respond, I don't know, because I don't know Adam. I mean, I don't know all of them anyway, but I've heard most of their names, so I don't know if that's just a person in their call center or what.
right. Well, and it's not that nobody's responded to me. It's actually,
Yeah, it is.
no, because the emails bounced back. They never got them.
Hmm.
So that's on. That's why I needed to call them and
So
say
you replied
they sent me a text that said to let
a text,
contact
okay.
them within 3 days and to email at this address. So that's the address I emailed to, and it bounced back.
Yeah,
So
I'll just send one to you and Ashley because you can tell her that too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
So, and
not
I've
sure what
got
I
the
should
bounce
do
back
here.
emails. I mean, I can print them out or forward them or whatever to show them, here's the date and time that I actually did send it or whatever. So, I mean, I can prove that I'm, not just making that up to try and get back on. But yeah, so I need to call. This has been probably 3 weeks ago now.
So it looks like Gig Drive and Thrive is saying, Steve, do you have a playlist on Dumpling? First of all, we have some up here. What's the one episode? He's just got his first client.
10.
So kudos to you on that. That's step one. But what is the episode that we always say to watch?
Episode 10 had a lot of good information in it.
Yeah, and then I also have a roundtable where I have some Dumpling people on that's definitely worth watching because they have insights they can tell you about. I don't know. I think a lot can be learned in that one too.
And Gig, Drive, and Thrive, I swear to God, people probably think I'm making this up by now. I really am sending this book out. With all this family stuff I've had going on, the last 2 months, it's like I've not existed. I've gotten nothing done. Nothing. So if you send me your email address, my email address is savvyshopperdelivers@outlook.com. If you email me, give me your email address, I promise you, by the end of the year, I will send out this book about how to start your own business with Dumpling. Because I swear to God, it's written. So I just have to edit tiny bit and send it out.
At outlook.com.
Ton of information. What's that?
Did I get that right? I just put your email.
Yep. Got it.
That's right. Okay, so there you go. Gig, Drive, and Thrive. Hit Holly up. She's that book is big. Don't let this thing scare you guys.
It's like 60, 65 pages.
It's like a step ladder.
I spent a lot of time on that sucker. I better send it out as much time as I spent on it.
I know.
I can have it with me. Oh, it's in the back of my car.
But it's at the same time to hear that I'll say this, and it's not a mean thing. At the same time that Holly and I sit here and say try Dumpling, it's going to be night and day to you guys. But at this time, I think we're at that point. Night and day that should sound good to you because the norm isn't really doing it right now. I mean, now it'd be the time. I know I'm like swamped through the holidays, but after the holidays, when January's slow, I'm going to be this is a priority of mine for January.
Yeah. Well, honestly, December.
I mean, before too, I'm doing everything I do, but
I'm busier in January than I am December. Every year,
I mean, again, it depends where you live, and even where I live. If I go up into the mountains, it's like January, February, early March, still thumping all the way actually through spring breaks, and they vary from mid-March to April. But because of all the resorts out here that are open, we get just pounded.
Yeah, everything has been slower. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see it in my income when because I write in my book every day. Well, I don't write in it every day, but I keep track every day of, I made this from Instacart. I made this from DoorDash. I mean, so I've got their initials there and like what I made every day from each company. So I know. And yeah, I mean, it's a definite difference.
You guys, if you want to not feel alone, Go watch Sergio and I recorded. It drops on Tuesdays, but we did it live yesterday because it was the 300th podcast episode. But it dropped this morning on audio too. And it's an hour 15 for Sergio and I. That's really good. We targeted an hour, like normally it'd be like an hour 45. But we kind of hit on all the biggest points of the year moving into next year. Some of the stuff without getting, it's not a episode just about legislation. However, at the last 15 minutes, we spent some time just talking about a few things. I don't know, it flows real smoothly. And I think all of it would kind of, I don't know that it's going to give you the it's not going to like make you go, ooh, tomorrow everything changes. But it's a dose of reality that I think everybody can swallow.
About the upcoming legislation and what they're trying to do? Is that what it is?
Everything. 2023 gig work, trends, forecasting 2024, why something we tapped into a subject that nobody talks about. I've even, Holly asked, I think it was last week, why I do the audio podcast.
Right.
One of the reasons, I have a ton, but first of all, that I started on the audio podcast way before way before I was on YouTube, but yeah, I have a bigger audience on audio for the Tuesday podcast than I do on any show on YouTube. And these are people who download and listen and then email me and stuff. But this one, sometimes I look at the reason I don't bring it every week to here, and I never do them live. But the reason I don't bring them every Tuesday is because sometimes audio podcasts are unregulated. You can talk about whatever you want. Shy of killing people like intended, and like even like music, you can play like songs and like really nothing happens. If anything, they might dox a little bit of like monetization, but it's already what it is. To be honest, it's crazy. You can do anything you want. You can talk about anything you want, like politics. We all know the political season's coming up. You don't know if you have a channel, you don't know if you're going to get a strike for anything you say. And I'm not talking about one side or the other. You say the wrong word in politics and YouTube gives you a strike.
I'm not monetized, so I can pretty much do whatever I want right now.
So Sergio and I dove into what nobody has talked about, except for maybe little tidbits in passing, which is the fact that order volume's down. Oversaturation's been going on forever. For years. But now we have a crazy double oversaturation everywhere because of illegals. And we straight up got into it. And if you guys know Sergio and I, we only talk about facts. So
say that one more time.
There's a lot we've talked about. You've probably heard this too. You can get on the dark web or things like that and buy accounts. So you can buy a DoorDash account. You can buy, or up in New York City, a big thing is renting them for the day. You can rent an account for the day out. So people like have a DoorDash account. They rent it for $100 to somebody.
That's crazy. I've never heard that.
Well, it's not supposed to be happening, but
well, of course.
But Sergio and I majorly dug into the illegals who are working on the platforms. There's a lot of them, you guys. There's like millions.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Millions. And not only that, they have a way of running 24 hours a day with a car. So they have multiple people, like 2 or 3 people who run these, and the cars just run 24 hours a day. So you're competing with that, and they're going to take everything. So it's not only is it, you always have to do supply demand, right? Like when supply for curry gets high and the gas prices go higher, my pay goes way higher.
Sure.
Because the bigger trucks stay off the road. The offers are needing to be taken. So those kind of things build. Well, when you already have order volume here, you have saturation here, and now order volume has gone, like these DoorDash alone, it's gone down 20%. And now you put in another bit of people quitting W-2s over saturation, and now the illegals, you're way up here. There just is not enough to go around.
Yeah.
So, like, it's one of those, if you're not multi-apping, you're dead. Unless this is like 10, 15 hours of your time a week.
Well, even multi-apping. I mean, I can have on Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub all and still sit sometimes, so I don't know. It's everything's changed and I'm not super happy about it, I can tell you. So I definitely have to take some things in a different direction, but I had that problem with my
That's
car and I
why
had to buy.
that's why Dumpling.
Well, Dumpling's
I
been dead
mean,
for the last few months too, but
but
again, and I was saying this earlier before you came, that is partially my own fault because I
I was
have
just gonna
had
say that.
one on. I haven't been out there pounding the
I was
pavement.
gonna say
So
that's on you, Holly.
a little bit, but
I mean, it's on me too. If I want my dumpling to grow, I got to go make it grow. It's not, I can't just sit there with the app on like magic and go, just feed me bad offers. Like, I got to go
yeah, but I
make my
used to get a
dumpling
lot from
grow.
the marketplace and I haven't even gotten anything from the marketplace lately. Then, I started the resort and I got hooked up with those two companies and I haven't gotten one order from either one of them. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I think after we met with Joel, I was talking with him backstage too. You're in a very, everybody cover your ears. This is just for Holly. Holly, you're in a good position for next year. They're going to be really, one thing that Dumpling's not notorious for is putting, and we had Joel on the podcast, on the Para podcast,
Yeah, I
that
saw
we
it.
do once a week last week. And if you heard him talking, he has a great way of describing it, but they don't really put money into promotions. They're not promoting. And he even understood, because we talked about it, that's not facilitating even new people client wise. And he said, correct. And he's like, and that's why next year is gonna be a little different, because he was talking about how like the old Dumpling was so much word of mouth or gaining people through a marketplace. And you were doing it before me, Holly. You probably remember that.
Right.
Like kind of like we talk about the heydays of an app. Like you were around for the heyday.
Yeah, well, I told you I used to get quite a few
Dumpling.
orders from the marketplace.
Right. So I mean, I guess my point is, not only when you go to dumpling.us, their website, not only is the landing page completely changed, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to find personal shopper, because it's all about vacation now. I mean, that doesn't mean we can't do it. In fact, he's all for it. He just thinks the future is Airbnbs, vacations, doing things. And because those are, again, that's a perfect client. If you get somebody who owns 3 Airbnbs, that's a perfect client. Because if you're allowed to put things in there, hey, when you get here, or even prearrange stuff, but even if not, when they walk in the door of the Airbnb, I don't know how many, I mean, I don't use these apps for food and stuff a lot, but we do go up into the high country a lot and go snowboarding places. So I rent Airbnbs with friends, very affordable.
Yeah.
But when we walk into one, the first thing you do is grab that book on the table.
Yeah.
Even though I know the area like the back of my hand, I don't need to know any of the restaurants. I know I could draw them all in a map. I still grab the Airbnb person's folder. So if in there was like, hey, do you want your groceries taken care of, not by Instacart or something along those lines, but by a personal shopper, and if you need any other things, they can do this, and where they could list, especially specific to those areas, like they can go here, 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 here. So you could list those little shops.
The resort our focus is kind of on the pre-arrival groceries. So you kind of want to make sure that those owners of the Airbnbs and stuff are sending out your information prior to those people coming, because you really want to do
hopefully. But I mean, like if I'm just pointing out,
any order is great, but
if we get up to an Airbnb and we kind of, because sometimes it's kind of a last minute thing, it might be like,
I understand that. I'm just
like
saying,
maybe I'm going to go up at 4 a.m. to ride and get back at 10 p.m. But now, and it's on a Friday morning. But now somebody emails me and says, hey, we got 2 other people. We want to go do that too, but we want to stay till Monday or till Sunday. We found an Airbnb for this, and my 3rd or 4th would come out to whatever, something I can do. I'd be like, right on, let's do that. Cause I want to ride with, but when we, so maybe a last minute, I'm jumping in the car. When I get there, we do go to the store a lot. So to be honest, I mean, in a perfect world, it'd be great if they get it to them beforehand, or even in the Airbnb thing, the details say, hey, if you want groceries ahead of time, even if it's
Right.
contact them, because they have to be careful on the Airbnb. They can't be like contact Holly at this. They can't be using third party. But I think we all know this. If you're booking Airbnbs, it's not like other things. You're pretty in touch with the host.
Right. So the host
So
normally
if the
sends
host
out
right
some.
away were to email you, say, hey, thanks for the payment, we send the door code out. We send the door code out 20, whatever they usually say, 24 hours before your stay. But if you want groceries stocked when you get there, let me know. They could just add that as one of the things.
Yeah,
that
that's
comes
what.
in their reply.
Well, and that's what the guy that does it in Vail, he was telling me that the hotels and stuff that he works with, they do send out his information with their confirmation information, that has all their other stuff in it. His information's in that. So
I'm looking
that's
to see,
definitely the goal.
because what's his name again?
The name of his company?
No, I thought it was I was sure it was this guy. There's a new guy who's head of, he runs
At Dumpling?
Yes.
Yeah,
He
he used to
runs
work for
the
him.
vacation, and he lives in Lakewood. He lives 15 minutes from me.
Yeah, they used to work
He doesn't live in
together.
Vail. He lives in Lakewood.
Right, but he used to live where this guy lived, and they used to work together because that guy had a grocery delivery business, and so the guy that now has the resort business worked for Joe, that is at Dumpling.
Because I was looking,
So
I took a screenshot of him just to be able to ask you, and I can't find it now.
He's the one I was on. The guy at Dumpling, I had a Zoom call with him and Joel that one day.
Okay, that's who it was.
So, yeah, I've met him.
So it's not the same guy as the guy you were talking to me before about
they know
in
each
Vail.
other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought I had discovered who the guy was, and I was like,
No.
oh, it's this guy, but he lives in Lakewood. My same guy.
The website for his resort business is vailgrocerydelivery.com, I believe. Double check that. And I need to call him or email him because I want to have him on the show. Because he would be a great one for people to hear about this from. I mean, his business has blown up.
You know what? If you can afford to live in Vail, or even find a way to make that possible, you can make any business blow up. I see businesses downtown Vail, and you guys got to understand, downtown, there is no downtown Vail. Downtown Vail is the village, where like all the hotels, and they're not hotels. The hotels are in South Vail or West Vail or East Vail. They're like the $2,500 a night plus Lion's Head type stuff. So there are people down there that have like glass stores.
Oh, he's changed his website.
And I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Well, this guy's story is incredible.
Your rent has to be $40,000 a month for 400 square feet of retail space. Are you kidding?
That's his website. He's changed it. It looks great.
Okay, I put the link in there.
Really nice. But anyway, when you put in Vail Grocery Delivery, he's the first one that pops up in Google. And he told me that Dumpling was really on top of and pushing the SEO for the resort business. So I don't know if that's for everybody or just because he knows Joe or what, but because he's the first one that pops up when you put that in. But his story is so incredible because I want him to come and tell it, but just briefly, he and his wife had come across hard times and were homeless. And Joe from Dumpling reached out and said, hey, I just started working at this new company, and, told him about the resort business. And I think this would be great for you. He is now making well over 6 figures from going homeless to 6 figures, raising his credit score from 5 something to, 800 within a year. I mean, his story is unbelievable. So, but he's also a go-getter. I mean, he pounded the pavement, and he knew a lot of people from hospitality from working in the hotels before. So, he did have a little bit of an in, but, he's worked his ass off. But I can't believe how far he's come in the time that he's been doing it. It's incredible. So he really needs to come on.
But so his affiliation is definitely not just to Dumpling. I mean, he has a whole thing outside of it too, it seems like, right?
No, he wasn't. He was not doing, back when Joe was still not with Dumpling, he was working for him at a grocery delivery business. But
So
then
I put the website, but is Vale Grocery Delivery also his dumpling handle?
that's his resort business. Yes. That's because
Right.
with the resort business, you do not go through it. You don't have a page like you do on your personal grocery
Oh,
page.
okay.
Yeah, you don't do that. You just have, you buy the domain name. Like mine is Island
And then they
Hopper Grocery Delivery. So I buy that and then I give it to Dumpling and then they set up my whole website. So nobody ever has like a page on Dumpling with resort. You have your own website, period.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
it's a
need to
whole
change your
different
channel
way.
name to Island Hopper.
Well, if
Then,
that takes off. No.
you know, it
Well,
might.
Savvy Shopper
I mean,
delivers.
Island kind of gives away you're in Florida a little bit, or maybe not Florida necessarily, but at least you're close to islands.
Right. Well, and I did that because we have Anna Maria and Siesta Key, Lido Key. You know, we have all those. That's where all the vacation people, not all, but you know, most of them go. So
Yeah,
that
Miami
one's
Made Me is asking. So you're asking some para questions. Yeah, I can say that you can email Steve at withpara.com. That's me. You're asking for Discord. Para doesn't have one, but I have a Para page on mine. I'm not real familiar with Discord, but if you look up Rideshare Rodeo, you'll find the Discord, and then on there's a page about Para. I don't know. I'm not fully into Discord yet. I don't love it. I haven't found its benefits for me.
yeah, ditto.
And some of the other people in there are like, I primarily did it for Curry, and the other people like Brian Kern and stuff, you guys might know him from a handle Have It Your Way. He's awesome. He kind of handles a lot of that stuff because he knows Curry like I do. So he's in there like, I'll go in every couple weeks, and there's like questions from 2 weeks ago, but Brian answered them. So I'm like, sweet. I just don't get it. I don't really get what it. If somebody could explain to me why I'm on why I'm on Discord, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't really get it either. Like,
I mean, I guess I say it only because I'm on all the other platforms. So I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing there.
Right. It's like, why can't you just do that on Facebook? Like, do a Facebook group. Why do you have to be on Discord? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I don't know either.
Maybe we're obviously missing something. Woo-wee. Oh, I sent in my background check to Para, and they're not taking that one. So there's something wrong with it. So I got to email them and figure that out too.
They're not. Anything. See, I always get confused with this, and I wonder if David has said it wrong, because I know we used to have both. I don't know where one of them filters now. David always says help at withpara.com. So look, if you're hearing this and you have a para question, this is not something that should be all the time, but maybe we could just do a test. Email help at withpara.com and then CC Steve at withpara.com. Let's see that I get it. And then I want to see that you're responded to in a timely manner. Because not that they're not, I just wonder, because we used to have 3 different emails and a couple team members are gone. If anything got changed, I want to make sure that, like, I know support is one too, but they were like, don't give that one out though, because that's more for just tech to tech. And I was like,
okay.
what?
I thought we were supposed to email David.
No. Yeah, you can email David at withpara.com. We'll never hear from him. David gets about 10,000 emails a day. David is on about 16 video calls a day.
Yeah.
I'm not dogging the guy. In fact, like, I give him the utmost kudos. And in fact, I take a lot off his plate every week. So
hell, I can't even get through all my emails. I can't imagine how many he has.
Yeah, and exactly. And like, kind of, I'm the same way. And there's some I can just go past, but he really can't. So and I know he has best of intentions. He means to get back to you, but that's why he's okay with, like, I run the official para group now. There's 19. We have 19,000 people in the para group, and it's private. So if you want in, let me know. You can just go to let me see what it's called. If you go,
we
if
got
you search
called out for being old, by the way.
I don't care. Can you snowboard 58 miles an hour?
Because we're not into the Discord, so apparently we're geriatric.
If you can snowboard 58 miles an hour, then I'll take that. Otherwise, whatever. But if you guys are on Facebook, if you search Facebook for official para gig driver forum, it is private, but I run the group. It's 19,000 strong. Got a lot of good conversation in there. A lot of things get answered quick too. So if you're on Facebook, find that it's private and just say that you want to join. I'll get the alert that you want to join and I'll okay you. Just make sure that you do read the terms, because one, we kind of closed the gates to letting people in for a while because so many people were haters. So just don't hate and be an ass. If you're not, then we don't have to throw you out. But we don't do strikes. You'll just get kicked out if you pull any crap. So just be nice.
Sure.
Well, you'd be surprised how much we tolerated for a while. And the group was public. When we actually deleted the original group had 110,000 when we had 240,000 people using the app for tip transparency. So we ended up just deleting that group because it got so toxic. And a lot of people it really shocked me. I know everybody's level of understanding is different, but so many people were not understand. Well, they would call us and say,
yeah, that was bad. That was really
get tip,
bad.
but they were like, get tip transparency back. And I was like, that's not up to us.
Right.
It's like, and they're like, but you had it and now it's not here and I can't make the same money. Get it back up. And I'm thinking, dude, that's, call DoorDash, bro. Like, don't, they should be providing you this information anyway. But again, that's not what we're doing at Para these days. I got Pulse in my market, but everybody else can be signing into Pulse, but you can't see it work. Let me see if I can see it work right now. Kind of show you guys. So
Instacart trying to steal my thing.
So right now it's still going through some stuff, but if you can see, it's like it says delivery. It's basically a map, and it's green is rideshare, red is delivery, and they just pop little dots up in the last 10-minute segments where offers have popped. So yeah, Carnifid. Pulse is in Vegas too.
I wish that they had some hookups down here because I don't have anything down here yet on ParaWorks. I've seen one my entire time, but.
Well, Pulse, if you update your app, Pulse should come in. It just might say that. So we've been changing the threshold because in some markets we have just over response and then in others not as much. But like, as long as you have one attached in the drive, then you're good to help the system. But we need to, like, it was going to be 250. And I said, why don't we kind of work it like to 25 in rural areas or more rural markets, because you can't have 200 that we like in a big city of 1 million, 2 million plus. We want 250 people on providing data.
Oh, right. But.
And then there's this whole thing about what if there's not as many. And at that point, that's why some things are being changed too. It took a while for this to get approved, by the way, which we do everything through Apple. And that's the toughest way to go because you can upload anything to Google Play. And even if it doesn't work, it's accepted, the app.
So are you saying
could have an app that just fails?
If there's not 250 people in my area,
well, no, we're
on Para, that you won't.
No, we're changing it. It'll just say we're like here in about a week. It'll say how many. If there isn't whatever the par number is that we come up with for a city, it'll say then. It won't say when you've reached it. It'll just look good. Otherwise, it'll say like 93 of 200. So you'll still see it, but you're only getting information from 93 people.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically an efficiency level that we're coming up with for every city. That's why they're all going to be different. Like to run efficiently in 2 million, you need 250 to be like really dialed in helping people. I know it's confusing, but it's getting worked out. Bottom line is update your Para so that you see ParaPulse. It'll probably just be a screen that says we're short a few people, and it tells you to invite people. If you're short,
okay.
it says invite people to your market. And
that's new.
And even if you send it to another para user, they might not know about it yet, and they might go update, or they might not have engaged it yet. So I'll be putting out some content on it, but it just, like I said, it was supposed to come out last week. It dropped yesterday. So that wasn't our fault. It was a coding thing because when you're using mapping stuff, and even though our team usually gets pretty quickly approved on Apple, they held this one up because of mapping was involved and stuff, and using location services on people.
Okay, well, I was behind. I didn't realize the Parapulse thing was a thing because I use it every day, but I use it for when I'm on
mileage.
No, I use it for
destination location flagging. There's so many things you can do with it. I'm trying to figure out which one.
You know, where using. I set my limits and it just auto
decline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's I was even making a joke to David. I'm like, we have too many features. We've got to. It needs to become.
I did turn my mileage thing on though, but.
So Parapass and Paraworks are being merged. So even if Parapass isn't in your market, Paraworks and Parapass will become one. So that will not be confusing. But we want to make sure people understand the purpose of what Pass was and is that to make sure that you upload the documentation that we ask for, so that we don't have to keep running background checks, and it allows you to onboard to apps that we're going to be partnering with in the new year without waiting in a line. And it also, it said one person in my area in the last 5 minutes was on here. Now there's 7. So maybe it takes a minute to sync up too. That's Parapulse. I don't know.
Hey, look, Gary Middleton lives and breathes. I haven't seen or talked to him for a while. I thought he'd disappeared. I was wondering. I know he's been busy.
No, Gary's around. They got their house.
Yeah, that's why I said
they're moved in.
Busy moving.
Right, but they've been in limbo moving for months.
I know.
In fact, the week after Thanksgiving, Gary's back for roundtable. So.
Oh, really? This Thursday?
No, this Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Week after. Yeah. I forgot.
And then also with us the week after until the week up to Christmas is Tom Kelly.
Oh, that'll be
from Driver Nation. So yeah.
Are you gonna have Tom and Gary on together?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, Gary's always been a regular. We're just having Tom in as another Phil.
So Gary's coming back as a regular.
He better.
Hey, and we have to give a shout out here to Nick for Nick's 61st birthday today. Happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Yes, and we can't forget to mention Gary's apps, of course, Maximo and Driver Utility Helper, which were.
And you guys, this Thursday, I'm uploading it right now. In fact, there's a Thanksgiving special roundtable at the same time, and the ending is all about Gary. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
So you are going to be on this Thursday. It's just not going.
No, it's a pre-recorded piece, or it's a bunch of it's not as much just funny as the ones I've done in the past to be like clip shows. It's got a lot of content in it. There was a couple funnies, but there's a lot of content that I was looking at and thinking, everybody needs to refresh on this.
Yeah.
So. It's only an hour 10.
Oh, I'll watch. I like long stuff. I don't like short stuff because I don't like to change the channel all the time. But honestly, I'm a little behind on everybody's content because I've been watching all this haunted content on Sam and Colby and Mackie and Amanda, and I
don't even know what any of that means.
It's basically ghost hunter stuff.
I even like that kind of stuff. I
downloaded my ghost hunter app, and anyway, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But had some crazy responses the other night though at my friend's house that were friggin' right on target. It was pretty. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, whole nother subject. But so the Pulse you said is not working on Android right now. Or it is.
It should be working on Android. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm trying to update Para on my Android, and it's not It won't update.
I mean, there was definitely an update. Do you have automatic updates on?
Well, no, I mean, it's giving me the thing, and then it says, can't install para-gig drivers, earn more, try again. If it still doesn't work, see common ways to fix the problem, send feedback. Yeah, so it's just, I'm getting an error every time. So, but I'll update on I have automatic updates turned on, but it doesn't work, obviously, because I'll go in there and something hasn't been updated. So I will check it on my iPhone.
Yeah, I don't have automatics on anymore, and it's pretty much because of the apps, because I don't, it's like I used to treat like iOS for my computer, my actual computer here, updates. Like I didn't want it the day it came out, because a lot of times there'd be something else that comes out like the next day saying, oh, sorry about all that and the bugs, and here's the fix. And so I'd until the app forces me to update, I usually don't. I just happen to know that's why I went in and updated my para, because I knew it had gone. And usually para is a forced update too. Like it'll say it in the app, but it didn't when Pulse went live, because we were like a week behind schedule.
It does tell me. That must be why I missed it, because
so it was supposed to go live about a week ago, Monday. It's what Tuesday now? Yeah, a week ago Monday, and it went live yesterday morning. So
okay, well, I will check that. I got my dash cam and my body cam from Display Ride. I have to.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I have to put it in my car. It's in my car, but I have to mount it. I haven't done that yet.
I hope you used my name.
I did.
Okay.
Of course I did.
Well, I didn't know if you knew. I mean, it's a weird thing, it's like with legal rideshare. With legal rideshare, they don't even give me any money. I mean, I don't get anything from it. But there's only like 5 people where if you want a consultation, there's actually a drop down where you referred from. And like me, the rideshare guy, and rideshare professor are the only 3 on there. The other things are like newspaper or this or that or whatever. But I don't get anything for those affiliate links. But like with Display Ride, you have to know it's just my name, Steve. Just put Steve in. I don't know.
Yeah, because I know that you and Pedro and Hannibal all have codes for that. So yeah. Here's my body cam.
And so does Kim, you guys. I would say for the body cams, use Kim's. For the dash cams, use mine.
Well, yeah, because when I first went on there, I didn't see where to do the body cam, so I thought it was something that just hadn't quite come out yet. So I went ahead and I ordered the dash cam, and then I figured out where the body cam was. So the only thing I wish is the vest that they send out is that bright ass yellow. So they need to think
He's
a little
working
bit
on
more
it.
in female terms, that like we can pick our color of vest, because I'm not big on the yellow.
Yeah. I told Abdul, make it like black, like a black mesh, breathable, but then just put the stripes on it, like bikers.
That's a good idea.
Stuff.
That's a really good idea.
Because it's more about the stripes really than an entire block.
Yeah.
Like, a yellow block.
Nobody looks good in that color. Nobody looks good in that color. So.
But I think Kim did a video on how to put the vest. I haven't seen it yet, but I think she texted me. Maybe it didn't premiere yet, but she's made it. She basically unboxed it, undid it, did it, and she set it all up like I have with the camera, and like Pedro did a video with the camera too. But like I think Kim did one already. I just don't know if it's public yet. It might already be up.
Okay, I'll check.
But where she goes through unboxing it basically, and like, okay, I'm going to use this, and she's going to walk you through how to use it. So. That's why I said if you're going to use the body cams, I would say use Kim, because my guess is she's going to put out some content on the body cam.
Well, I think it's really good to have both.
Yeah.
Because if you're in an accident, the dash cam is going to help, and it can even, watch you go into the door to some point. But again, if you have to go around a corner or something, you've got the body cam. And I wish to God I had a dash cam, because I had a guy literally try to kill me. I wasn't kidding when I said that to you. About a week and a half ago, and it was late at night, because that's a thing that I take, I'm always out late at night, And apparently I pissed the guy off, and he literally tried to run me off the road and would swerve over and come within inches of my car. And then he would pull over and cut right in front of me and slam on his brakes as hard as he could. And I almost hit him the first time, and then I saw what he was. And then he would slow up, and he was waiting on me, and I couldn't. There was nowhere for me to go, and it took me. It seemed like a lot longer, but it's probably 4 minutes that before I could find somewhere that I could cut over and get off the road away from him. But it was terrifying because the guy did it not once. He did it 3 or 4 times and was deliberately waiting on me on the road because there was no other traffic. He'd sit there and wait. I mean, I could almost stop my car and he'd wait. It was scary. It was very scary. So I was shook on that for a while. So
there's a lot of there's always been crazy drivers, but I feel like since the pandemic, there's been like some people who are like aren't joking anymore. Like they're willing to put their life on the line for something stupid car.
This
like,
was at 1
dude, I'll kill both of us. I'll kill both of us, kind of thing. Like, dude.
Well, I know he pulled out of the apartments behind me apparently, but when you go into this apartment complex, you can go right or left. And I came from the right because I just made a delivery, and he was not behind me as I was pulling out. So he must have gotten behind me when I got to the stop sign, which means he had to come from the left. So I went back in there a few days later because I was so freaked out at the time. I didn't think to grab my phone and like film him or get his license plate or anything. I mean, it was just, I was so taken aback. And so I went through there a few days later, and I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure I've located the truck and his license plate. So if anybody knows how to run a plate, I'd like to try and find out who this plate belongs to. I thought about leaving a note on his truck that says, I know who you are, I know where you live, and you fucked with the wrong person.
You should just said, I have you on dash cam. You have 24 hours to contact me, or else I'll just go that route.
You're much nicer than me. I just want to freak him out.
Well, that would freak him out.
I don't want him to contact me. What's he going to contact me for? I don't want him to know who I am or where I live. But I did have my magnets on my car that night. But I'm like, what kind of man
just put the local police station number. Say, I need you to contact me.
Oh, ASAP. That would be funny. That would be funny.
I'm an off-duty officer, and
yeah. And I deliver groceries on the side because I had my
because I don't get paid enough as a cop.
There you go.
It's a believable, honest story.
I know. I thought about. I don't know. I've become a little obsessed with it now because I feel like I want to sit there and see the person when they walk out and make sure that's the truck for one. But I don't know. I just want to know what kind of crazy ass person does that to somebody. I know.
JP has a comment here for you.
Oh yeah, I have internal memory, which I just did delete some stuff. But I also have the card too. Wouldn't it not? I thought it automatically went to your SD card if your internal storage was full. See, look, you must be a psychic. Internal storage full. Download failed. Cancel. Go to storage. That's crazy. That's funny. Yeah, I have a lot of apps on here. I never.
If she can't even do an app update, then she's got a lot of internal storage to dump.
Yeah. And I don't use this phone for hardly anything, but yesterday I did film on it a little bit, which I never do because my friggin' iPhone was full and wouldn't videotape anymore. So.
And also, guys,
figure it out.
There's I think it's a members only video. Maybe I'll change it. I'm going to change it just on Thanksgiving Day. So only to you who heard this here today, I'll make it public. But I ran across a members only video from a Sunday Fun Day way long ago that Gary and I did. And it's I'll just make it public on Thanksgiving. And then I'll make it back to private on Friday. So you guys want to watch for it'll say Denver Dolls, the thumbnail.
Which one was it?
I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. Everybody just should watch for it and watch it. It's like 22 minutes. It's not the whole thing. I just clipped out the piece.
Okay.
But yeah, you can see it because it wouldn't be in a live, it would be in the not live videos. And then it was like, can't remember, maybe I posted like 6 months ago or something, but it was probably from a year or so ago.
Sunday fun days were fun.
Mm-hmm.
Those were a lot of fun. I wish you still had those.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll do one before the end of the year.
Yeah, I really liked that, and I liked the Friday night with Tom and Gary you did. Driver Nation.
Yeah. So. That's why I'm excited for the 30th. Tom and Gary on Roundtable. So
JP says, I'm telling you, I'm the guy. I'll see your psychic and didn't even know it.
I think JP's in Florida too. He's in Miami, I believe.
Oh, I hate this Android anyway. I really the only reason I got it was because of Gary, because I wanted to download the driver utility helper. It's the only reason I have a stupid ass Android. So I'm going to get rid of it. An iPhone.
Do you only have one phone? You only have the one phone?
What's that?
You only have the one phone?
No, I have two phones. I'm recording right now on my iPhone. Right. And then my Android is sitting on my lap. So I usually have YouTube playing on my Android when I'm driving around, and I use my iPhone for my deliveries and stuff.
Gotcha.
So. All right. You got anything else? I know you have to go.
I thought I did. I can be a little late there. I saw who it was today. I'm just making sure because they did a I don't know if you guys remember, it wasn't long ago, but when they had Lyft on Rideshare Guide, they gave like a bunch of people. Chris told us ahead of time, asked us, are you able to be there tomorrow for the Lyft piece with the CEO and be a mod? And here's the guidelines. But then he took the wrenches away from like everybody except for like 3 or 4 people. And they asked me if I would still. That's a good idea. Yeah, because he had given out like only about 25, but he still was like, hey, would you still remain? When I was like, sure. So, because he knows that I know, like, I won't ask somebody for anything. I mean, you'd have to really cross a line. But at the same time, they're pretty serious over there about they don't care if you swear or you're mad or whatever, but no religion and no politics. You can't do that.
Well, and if you've got the CEO of Lyft on there, you may have some people that get disrespectful.
And some did.
People are.
I mean, we were zapping a few people. Zach was going to town, so I didn't have to do much. Zach's like, you're gone. I was just seeing him just picking people off. I was like, that comment's right on the line. Then Zach's like, axed. I was just like, okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess my Jerry Springer final thoughts, I guess, again, showing my age, would be to get into a room together and fight each other with chairs like Jerry Springer show. Just kidding.
There you go.
But no, my final thoughts would be diversify multiple income streams and get on every app you can before the new year.
Yeah.
Because in the new year is going to be some, not January 1st, but pretty early in the new year is going to be some legislation. So get on everything now. Don't be putting it off. Because here's the thing: unless you're just kicking butt, which most people I know, most of the markets are struggling. Like Holly said, even multi-apping. So if you're in one of those, and I shouldn't say struggling, but if you're not taking in what you think, if you've done this year after year and this time of year, you're usually pulling in this, but you're not even doing what you did this summer, and this summer was slow. And I've heard all the stories. So if that's the case, well, then now's the perfect time to onboard other apps.
Yeah.
If it's slow, just start going to town. Because the other thing is find out what's in your market. Just because on Last Mile I talk about all these things doesn't mean that they're in your market. Like, if I'm telling you about freight, dispatch, drop off, courier, you're going to need to look if those are in your market. Some will be, some won't be. And I would suggest very quickly to get on anything in your market that if you're willing to do that work, I'm not saying you got to start taking all their orders, but if you're willing to do the work of an app that's in your market, get onboarded to it now.
Oh, speaking of being onboarded to other apps, this is what I was going to tell you. I had the problem with my Jeep, or not my Jeep, my Kia, and I had to buy the Jeep right before I came to Colorado, and so I still had my Kia sitting there. I just picked it up yesterday. It's just been sitting at the dealership for 3.5 months because I didn't know what the hell I was going to do with it. I took it to another mechanic who works on my husband's car, and he's working up a estimate for me because the other estimate that was $8,000 came from the dealership. So he's going to see what he can do, and I think I'm going to, because of what I owe on the car and how much it's going to be to fix it, I think I'm going to fix it and then put it on Turo. So that'll be a new thing for me to try and see how that goes. I mean, I saw Nugs had done Turo and was not thrilled with it, but I've been watching some other videos, and so I'm trying to gather some information right now. But
So
I figure, while I got that card, I need to get it paid down some before I can probably sell it at all. But that would be a good way to pay for the repairs and pay for the.
So somebody that I've had him on the YouTube thing, you probably won't remember this guy, but I've had him on the audio podcast. I've known him since I was doing Rideshare and just had the website. He primarily only does Turo, and he's in Florida. He's back and forth from Florida to Idaho now. His YouTube handle, he's got a bunch of subs. Used to do a ton of content on gig work. Now it's more Turo stuff. Is at Drive to Win 13.
All right, I'll have to write that down.
Yeah. His name is Jason, and Drive to Win 13. He's an awesome guy. Really nice.
Yeah, I subbed yesterday to a few people that their content is basically all Turo, so I could start watching some of that and check it out.
But he'd also just tell him you're a friend of mine. Like, him and I are tight. Like, just tell him you're a friend of mine, and you could probably just talk to him too. I know he's running like a handful of cars now. He started with one, and now he's got a whole thing going.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind, doing more than one if I could,
right. But I guess my point is, I know he's been through the last time I had him on the podcast was probably about 6-7 months ago, but he's been through the trials and tribulations. He's done the wrong thing a couple times. Now he's to the point where it's pretty dialed for him.
Right. That's why I'm watching these videos, because I want to, find out what not to do, what to do. And I've already learned some stuff. So, shit, I forgot I was going to ask you. Oh, what's his name?
Jason Pease.
And what show did you have him on? Which one of your shows?
Oh, he's been probably on 10 things. He's been on Roundtable. He's been on podcast twice, Roundtable 2-3 times.
All right. Well, if you can think of, when we get off here, if you can think of off the top of your head, one you can locate quickly, just text that over to me. It's the link so I can watch his interview. And I'll watch it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the best ones I did with Jason are probably audio podcast only, because it's before it was even on YouTube. Because he was, during the pandemic, he was doing, the reason I even met him was because he was doing something that now we hear about people doing, like DJ and his wife, Britt, that had come through here during the gig con, and now they're in Vegas. They travel a lot, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, during the pandemic, Jason Pease took his RV. He took his RV and he put a trailer on it, and he put his Prius on trailer. He went from Boise, Idaho to Missoula, Montana, and onboarded a ton of people to all these apps, and then stayed.
I think I have seen him, now that you say that.
And then he stayed in an RV in the Walmart lot for a couple weeks and made sure that these people followed through on hitting their pars, or at least most of them. So he'd get like $700-800 referral per person. So he was making like $8-10 grand before he'd leave a city.
I do remember hearing about him.
And so he was just, again, I know people do it now in their vehicles, but he would go from town to town in an RV with his Prius in tow, get there, park at Walmart in the back, live there for a few weeks, and then use his Prius.
I can't imagine how much that would cost, though, just even for the RV gas, especially with pulling a car.
It was genius, though, because he literally did it July 2020. I mean, we were in the midst of don't leave your house.
How long do you think it's been since you had him on the podcast? Because I'm looking through your podcast episodes.
I mean, he's been on ones with Gary's in here. He's been on ones with me and Gary. And
I mean, how far back do I need to look? Is what I'm.
If you're looking, like on
I'm on
YouTube?
Spotify looking through your podcast on Spotify.
Oh, here. I wouldn't even know. You actually got me on that one. I don't know.
Hey, JP, I have a question for you. You said about factory resetting my phone, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to lose, and I don't know if I would lose my photos or videos on there, even though I don't have that many. But yesterday, or this has happened a million times, I was trying to send a video from my Android to my iPhone, and it doesn't let me send it because it's too long. So it wants me to make it shorter. Is there a way for me to get the longer videos that it tells me is too long to message? Is there a way to get that over to my iPhone easier? Maybe you know that answer, since you seem to know a lot about that kind of stuff.
I do have one here. Here's one with me, Gary, Hannibal, and Jason sending.
Ooh, what number is it?
It's a round table. It's like round table number 4.
Oh, that's on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's on Spotify.
I sent it to my other phone, and then when we're done here, I'll look, because there's a much better one, even on YouTube, with him, just him and I, where he was my co-host for the week. Because that in there we actually talked about, I think, that what he did over the pandemic, but I think we've even started to touch on Turo. But on his channel, he has Turo videos on Drive to Win 13. He's got a bunch of content. Joe, what's up? And what's up, everybody else that I didn't say hi to, but what's up? Let's play DoorDash Joe. Haven't seen you in a minute, dude. I texted you, Joe, not too long ago. I was just checking in to see how you're doing.
Where do you see him? I don't even see him. I think my comments like quit.
He's in your chat.
Oh, there he is. Okay, it just popped up. That's weird. It took a minute.
Huh.
Drive to Win 13. Okay, I found him, I think. Oh, no, that's not it. My bad. There he is.
I mean, I think you'll right away see Turo's.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
am subscribed to him. So, yeah, I've seen him before at some point. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's just somebody, if you ever wanted to, you could reach out to, and he's just such a nice guy, too, though. He'd totally talk to you about it.
Okay, this is how I started my Turo business in 2022. He's got a video on here that says that.
Yep.
So, all right, I'll pause that and watch that next.
Yeah. So, plus he did something, like I said, guys, I mean, like a lot of people could say, oh yeah, there's nomads out there now that dash and travel. And yeah, this is before anybody had even thought of that. And we were all locked in houses. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to take my trailer on the road. And even oddly enough, he went to visit his brother. Here's another weird thing, because he told me that he did gig work during the pandemic in 42 states.
Wow.
Including Hawaii, because his brother lives in Hawaii and has a blue Prius. And so does he. So he was just using his brother's.
I must have seen an interview, because what you're telling me, I know I've heard these stories before. So I know.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a good guy.
He doesn't really have that many videos on YouTube, though.
Really? He's been around.
I mean, as long as he's been on there, comparatively, he doesn't. But
maybe he just made a bunch unlisted, though. Because he used to do that. Like, some of his were so old. I mean, he was pre-pandemic YouTube.
Yeah, he's only got 37 videos.
Yeah, okay. So basically what he told me is, he's like, dude, if it doesn't apply anymore, I don't keep it public for to get views, to get a nickel or a penny or a fraction of a penny. He's like, I make them unlisted if they are not applicable anymore. So, because he's done hundreds of videos. So yeah, there's something.
Yeah, he must have hidden them then, because
he's got a lot of subs. Unless he's just totally done something wicked different with the channel, but
he has a playlist of all the Turo videos too, which is good. So yeah, he's got, I think, almost 9,000. Is that right?
Yeah. So that's exactly, and that's, I mean, before most people were even watching on YouTube, I know he had his channel. You'd have to go to his about to see when he started it. I can't remember, but
yeah, he's got the oldest video I see is 4 years ago. But
Yeah, so that's my point. Like if there's no reason that he always was that way. He wasn't like he did it for members and he didn't do it like go live. He didn't go live much at all. These were usually pre-made videos, like you know. And so, but if he did something on Corner Shop and he was telling you about how to use Corner Shop when it came around, it's probably gone now because now it's just in the Uber app and it pays crappy. So there's no reason to have it up there anymore.
Yeah, I don't see that either. So yeah, you're probably right.
So to be honest, like again, he's a friend of mine too. I appreciate him doing that because I'd rather not see his channel and have to go through a bunch of crap that means nothing anymore.
Oh, the Gig Economy podcast had him on because they have a video with him here. And it's episode 145B, the B-side with Jason of Drive to Win 13, Turo business owner and gig extraordinary. That might
be a good one to watch.
Yeah, that was 6 months ago. So yeah. I'll watch that one too. Yeah, I enjoy their show too.
Yeah, I mean it's especially their if like you said that's B-side. They just had me on the B-side last week for the first time ever. I've been on the Gig Economy podcast like 10 times, and they're like, and now we got Steve on. I'm like, dude. And they're like, and it's his first time. I'm like, dude, I've been on this 10 times over the past 3 years. What are you talking about? But he was like, but you've never been on B-side.
I saw the very beginning of it. I hear somebody yelling. Oh, must be that guy. Yeah, I saw the very beginning of it, I think. But I wanted to go back and watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, let's play DoorDash. We hear you, dude. That's what we've been talking about. He's been in the woods. Joe lives in Michigan, for those that don't know. And as much as I love Colorado, whenever I talk to Joe, he reminds me exactly of my cousin. So like Joe and I are like, we always joke that we're like brothers because when we talk, we even have the same Michigan slang. So to my jobby nooner brother, what's up, dog? But yeah, exactly what we've been saying. It's rough out there. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, it's rough out there. So, but at the same time, guys, Sergio and I hit on this yesterday. It's not just gig work. W-2s aren't immune to this. It's rough out there, period. I mean, period. There's a lot of people in W-2s quitting, losing jobs, getting laid off, not getting enough hours. I can attest to a lot of this stuff. So it's just not pretty anywhere. You know?
Wow.
So, but that doesn't, I mean, look, I mean, Sergio and I were referring to it as ebb and flow. And this is a pretty extreme example of it. But if if things are that low, they always have a way of picking back up. So like we said yesterday, the gig economy won't go anywhere. It won't. It's because it's growing worldwide. There's no way that the US falls behind on the gig economy. There's no way. And with the numbers they're predicting, like, I mean, it's astronomical. So, I wasn't a big fan of the movie, but I'll tell you guys, I think it's Freeform or one of those. I know you can watch it free on something. But to go watch The Gig Is Up, it's more done from the standpoint of the people who were pushing for Prop 22. So it's kind of like, it's supposed to seem like it's neutral, but it's a little more union oriented, but it does talk about globally. And it does show like how gig work is done in China. And it's weird. Like they line up these people who are going to deliver on bikes. They'll have like 100 each and they stand next to each other, like two companies. And they stand shoulder to shoulder with like press shirts in the morning before they get on the bikes. And they're like next to the company that they're going to work against. It's weird. It's just weird. But they talk about all these intricacies, but they also throw out some numbers of the rates at which it's growing. And those are correct. And for the statistical reasons alone, I would say go watch The Gig Is Up. It's free. I can't remember where it is. It's on one of those.
I'm looking up right now.
Yeah, I want to say it's Freeform, but I don't know.
It's on Tubi, Tubi.
Yeah.
It's on Vudu, VUDU.
Mm-hmm. But Tubi's free.
And it's $2.99 on YouTube or Amazon Prime or Google Play.
Right, but Tubi's free, you guys, so you can watch it for free on Tubi.
I'm pretty sure that I watched this because I remember the people and.
Yeah, that's what gets to me is that You know, like we were just talking about this. My podcast gets a balance of things. So when people are like, "Why'd you just have Vina Dubal on, who's pro union everything?" Well, I've had Willie Solis on, who's as big a union as she is too. It's because I get all sides. They didn't like this movie's in a perfect example of that. They didn't represent the other side. They represent, and they never really came out and said it either. I don't know. And there's things in this movie I liked to see, and I was like, oh, that's a cool stat, or I didn't know that kind of thing. But did I like it overall as a piece? No, because the people they're talking to are mostly union mindset. And that just, I mean, like I can do okay with that, but just doesn't really jive with me.
Well, if you go to thegigisup.ca, they actually have a website. And it says The Gig Is Up, a very human tech doc. And then if you go to their menu, it says home, watch, educational, press, take action, resources, events, and blog. So it looks like they have quite a bit of information on there. And there's actually a picture of the guys standing there, all in their blue uniform.
Yeah, there's one guy who's in that a lot, and I'm not going to say his name. Happen to know him pretty well. He sits on the side of unions in California. In fact, he sits with two of the coalitions. Him and I have had our differences, to say the least. But he's in that a few times, and every time he speaks, he does not speak how he's ever spoken to me. When he speaks to me, the word union comes out every third sentence. He doesn't really ever use that word. So it's even made him even worse in my mind, because I was like, dude, you're being super deceiving now.
Well, the good thing about you can have people on from all sides because you know how to handle that in a mature way, where some people can only see one side and they're going to argue it in a way like they're 12 instead of being able to listen. You know what I mean? I know.
Yeah, but I guess I just don't get that. You know, like if you're not willing, I don't just like tune out blank and go, okay, talk and smile and go, and just kind of like, I'm just tuned out. I'm taking it in, and I do want to hear what you have to say, because maybe you're going to show me something different. I don't know. I mean, it's like a challenge. I'm not there like a debate forum. I'm there more like challenge me.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, we all have things to learn. Nobody knows everything.
Yeah. I mean, like I want to be challenged by anything that I oppose. And again, not like debate, and not like so much of YouTube is like just throwing hate around at people. Like, well, dude, I'd like to add, why, you know, like, let's talk about this that you said. No, let's talk about your grandma. Like, what? Like, it's just like all of a sudden it just turns into like political mudslinging here on YouTube. And it's like the real topic gets, I mean, if like 2 weeks later, you're like, hey, what are you guys fighting about? It's like, I don't even remember. I just hate the guy now.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I've seen a lot of that lately.
Right. And I guess that's my point, is that like, that's the opposite of what I want to do. I want to talk about these things. And, you know, like Willie Solis, I'm going to use him as an example. If Willie's watching this, what's up, Willie? Willie and I literally don't we don't agree on anything at all. Never met somebody I disagree with less on anything. We both love baseball. Absolutely adore baseball. It's the only thing. It's the only thing. So Willie is the main person for the gig worker collective in Texas. It's basically a way, it's a move to be unionized. So, but I've had him on like 3 times. So when I don't know if you guys remember when the All-Star game was supposed to be in Atlanta, and because of cancel culture, for whatever reason, they moved it to Colorado. Like a month before, they were just like, sorry. And like, so like, if you guys are familiar, like merchandising for the, merchandising for MLB and stuff like that, like that's done months in advance. And so everything was done for the event in Atlanta, and they couldn't even use it here at Colorado. So they did this rush order and only had like 3 things available, which is unheard of for an All-Star game. But I sent Willie a shirt and 2 shirts and 2 hats for him and his kid.
Yeah.
Because he had tickets to the Atlanta one. He was taking his son, and it got canceled, and he was pissed. And I thought it was pretty pathetic too, even though it came here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
To be
all
honest,
those
here,
people have
there we go. There's a perfect example. I don't even remember what it was about. I don't remember if it was during the, if it was about the tomahawk chop, because they do that, and all those, and the Washington Redskins that are now what the hell are they? They had to change their name, and the Cleveland Indians had to change to the Guardians for baseball. I think the Seminoles were going to have to change it.
yeah.
Basically,
The Redskins.
the DC, right, in DC for the Redskins, though, I don't know if you guys know this, the Indian reservations are now suing them, saying that they want it back. So the people they were
Really?
trying to protect are saying, no, dude, give us that. What are you doing? Like, give us
Wow.
back we liked that. So it was like, to me, that's awesome. It's like, yeah, like, not, guess what, guys? Not everybody wants cancel culture. Not even the people that you think you're
Right.
helping.
Yeah. Well, and I'm from Illinois, and so we have the Illini, and they had to change theirs too.
What, Joe? I think Joe spelled it wrong, because that can't be the name. Is it what, the Commanders? He put, what is that? Commodores? Commodores?
He said he had to let a guy go. What? Let him go from what? Does he hire people to work under him or what?
Who, Joe?
Yeah. See, you said here.
Yeah, he has a full-time full-time W-2.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, the Redskins, they changed to the Commanders. Yeah, what
but now there's lawsuits from Indian reservations that they want to be the Redskins again.
That's funny.
So they're like, they were supposed to be, that's why they did it. And now the Indian reservations are like, dude, put it back. This is stupid. Why'd you do that? Like, which even like gets even worse. Like, why in the world didn't they check in with these reservations first?
Right.
Hey, we're thinking about canceling this. We're thinking about canceling this name because it's offensive to you. No, it's not. We love it.
Yeah. Or you would think they changed
well, then we
because
won't.
they had complaints, but obviously not.
I don't know. But yeah, I did want to say that, last mile tomorrow. There is no last mile tomorrow. I got too much Thanksgiving stuff going on, so it's the Wednesday after.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
My mom will be here till Friday, and then every year the night before Thanksgiving, at the Fillmore, there's an event. You might know. You remember the Martin Scorsese film, The Last Waltz, with all musicians? It had like Neil Young, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, like just everybody that was big, right? Every year that's recreated here in Denver at the Fillmore by local musicians. So they actually, Tori Pater and another guy I know, Fillmore holds 3,800 people, and they sell it out every year. And it's a drive for the Denver Rescue Mission for homeless, the whole thing. And all musicians, there's 38 special guests. So every song, just like the real movie from Scorsese. So one person does the Neil Young song. One person does the, this or that, or so each person's song, like Howlin' Wolf and stuff, each person's song is done by one person, and that's their part. So it's done exactly like it's the 19th annual Last Waltz Revisited. And so I usually kind of help out there. I really don't do lighting or anything. I kind of more run the backstage because I know all these guys. So I'm kind of more just like a timing guy, because a lot of them are, it's night before Thanksgiving. They're just getting wasted, and there's like 4 green rooms. So I got to go track people down. And
right. They don't know it's their turn.
But my son's going with me too this year. So be interesting.
Well, that'll be fun.
A lot of them know him anyway, so he'll feel comfortable back there. I just got to make sure he's not in the wrong green room.
Right.
Or the right green room. I don't know. The green room I don't want him in.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll mention again, since I mentioned this earlier, that I will talking about doing the trivia once a month or once every other month. And I will do one next Tuesday if I can get 4 people that will commit to being on. And it'll be on Thanksgiving trivia, food and drink trivia. So if anybody's interested, please email me at savvyshopperdelivers@outlook.com, or just leave me a comment on one of my videos or something, or this video, and we will do one next Tuesday if I can get people to commit. So.
And what is, we should always put this in the chat at the beginning. What's the code for sign? I don't know if you did it in the start, but I'm guessing you didn't. What's the code for signing up for Dumpling? We're just using the one that you have. What is it?
Savvy, SAVVY 2023.
Okay, so you better get that updated.
Are you looking at me?
No, but you're going to need a new one in a month.
Yeah.
2024.
Let me double check that, actually, now that I say that.
I think that's right. But you guys use that code because you do get, I'm forgetting. I mean, I think you get like a few months free instead of.
You get the 60 days. Yeah, it's Savvy 2023 is right. 60 days on the Pro plan for free, which is normally $29 a month. Plus, you only pay $1 for your account setup fee, which is normally $19.99.
All right, I just put it in the chat, you guys. So, Holly, if you highlight that for just a quick, as we close out here, that way it'll be on the video too. So yeah, if you're signing up for Dumpling, you guys, there's no reason not to use that, because that is going to get you way more than you're going to get just going in blindly.
Yeah, and we don't get anything for it. We just
no. But I honestly don't believe you have enough of a fighting chance unless you're. And when you do sign up, start right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got your
it's free. I mean, I think we know it's an issue though. People sign up and then they, like 2 months later, might find that they have a client or two. Now you only have like a month left of everything free, and you're kind of learning it. Like get out there and get a client, or have a client ready when you sign up.
Yeah, well, and be ready to go out there and promote yourself, because it does take a lot of work to go out there and get your clients. It's not easy. I mean, you used to get more through the marketplace, but like I said, I'm not really getting them now. So
even for nothing for Thanksgiving, you're not seeing anything on Marketplace for Thanksgiving?
No, as a matter of fact, I need to do a self order. Did you talk to Joel about that, about what you and I talked about? How they pull you off of that? Okay, because we need to talk to
no, because we didn't. It was a different conversation because we didn't get into pricing at all. Yeah, we were talking so much about what things are in the time we had them, because in other ones I've talked about pricing, so I didn't want to go through all that. But privately, I've got some questions for Joel.
Right, because if you don't do an order within 30 days, for those of you that don't know, if you haven't had an order in the last 30 days, then you no longer are showing up on the marketplace, because they want to make sure that everybody on the marketplace are active shoppers. And Steve had brought up the point that, well, now there's no free plan and everybody's paying for their plan, so they shouldn't be pulling anybody off the marketplace. Mm-hmm. So, but if that happens, which it just happened to me, so I have to go in and I have to do a self order to make sure that I show back up on the marketplace, because now it's been over 30 days again. So yeah, again, I do need. There just wasn't an organic time or any that we were talking about this, but I do need to ask him that, because I think that might even be something that honestly he'll just change, because he'll go, oh shit, yeah. Because I think when we talked about it, made sense. It just might have been overlooked, simply like that. No, I agree. Because I don't see him being like, you know what, screw the people that pay. He's just not like that. And so no, he's not. I mean, and again, why wouldn't he want more people on the marketplace? Like in Holly's area, let's say that maybe there's none, but maybe there's other one in there. But maybe there's one other one and they're not that good. Then you're going to want to see Holly too. So why are you taking her off after 30 days? Right. Well, and no order. I was the only one showing up. Yeah. So now there's nobody showing up. So I need to do a self order like today. Actually, I should just do that as soon as we get off here. Just do it right now. Just get a soda. Yeah. I will. Well, yeah, there's something I need to store. I could do it. But yeah, guys, I
I guess that's about it. Hey, if you do any rideshare, I'm going over to Mod over at the rideshare guy right now. They are, I don't know for how much longer. This portion might even be over, but they do have the CEO of Alto Rides on, which is a W-2 for rideshare, where they provide the vehicle, they provide everything. But I've had their CTO on before, and the whole company opposes tipping. In fact, they don't allow it through the app, and they don't allow drivers to accept tips. No, could you? Sure. But that whole model about no tipping and using a minimum wage model because you use their SUVs, just, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Me neither. I mean, it's nice that it's not your car. They're these super nice, like 6-8 seater SUVs.
Right.
And the other thing is they're scheduled too. They're not it's not flex because it's their vehicle. You got to schedule blocks.
Right. I've thought about going, because I am signed up for Uber People, because that's what I originally signed up for, like back in 2015. And I've thought about maybe trying a little bit of that again, just because everything else has been so down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or you could look into hamper and launder. And no, I'm serious. I actually, real quick, we'll just leave it as a teaser, but it'll be enough information for you guys to like at least take a earful, because I know some people who are doing hamper, launder. So there's like 4 or 5 sud share.
I downloaded launder just to look at it.
Hamper's like the market leader, just so you guys all know. They're the ones who do the real business. So if you want to try that, but I have a couple different people that do such volume and now take it to fluff and folds. Really? So they're literally outsourcing the outsourced work.
Wow.
So they're just treating it like other gigs, and they make a lot of money on that. Because the fluff and folds do it for so much less than they're making through the app.
I'll be darned. I'm trying to look it up right now. Hamper app, I guess. How's it spelled? I bet it's not spelled the regular way.
No, it's always drop a vowel. I think it's the E. HAMPR.
Well, actually, it's HAMP. It is spelled the right way. It's Hamper app. It's all together. Download app. Hamper app. We pick up.
And it says laundry, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the customer side of it, though. Obviously, that says we pick up, clean, deliver your laundry, dry clean clothes for free delivery.
Yeah, it's hamper sud share. I don't know how Launder's doing these days. I interviewed with their CEO a long time ago, but they changed hands a few times, and then there's a couple others too.
Yeah, become a driver. There it is.
So, but guys, last mile, not tomorrow. I might do like a maybe, who knows, that Friday I might do like a ride along for Curry, or if I do a Pair of Works. I've been getting a decent amount of Pair of Works, so but probably do a Curry ride along Friday if I do any. That's it. This is the last thing I get. I'm trying to think. This is the last thing I think I'm doing before Thanksgiving. But then on Thursday, we do have there's going to be a premiere on the Para channel. It's not going to be live. You guys will want to see that at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, as always on Thursday, it's uploading right now. Let me see. Might even be done. It is done. So if you search Rideshare Rodeo, you should see what Thursdays is. 7 p.m. There is a roundtable that's going to premiere. It's an hour 10. Check it out. You guys will like it.
Josh says that Thursday morning he's doing his first rideshare. So interesting.
That's interesting. Josh is doing it. I mean, I know he's been trying for a while, but he always seems to do pretty well in his market outside of Philly. So I know DoorDash has been like everywhere. DoorDash. Josh is a perfect example. Josh used to crush it on DoorDash, and he can't anymore. So, like, crush it. And that's, I mean, I know a lot of people do okay. Some people crush it, but Josh would crush it. Now he does a lot of curry. He does some other things, but like, I don't think he relies real heavy on. I know he does delivered that. He doesn't rely real heavy on DoorDash anymore.
Well, that's what I'm getting ready to go do now.
So, okay, guys.
So,
I guess
all
we're
right.
out of here.
Yep. Thanks for being
Don't forget to do your outro or.
Yep. If what am I saying? Oh, man, here, sorry.
See, look at Josh's comment before we leave. It'll be the last comment. There it is.
Now I gotta go back. Hold on. It's so slow right now with DoorDash, and I'm honestly just bored with food outside of catering. Yep, I hear you.
So that's
All
kind
right,
of it.
guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks after Thanksgiving.